All right, welcome to this tutorial on setting up GitHub. And in our last tutorial, we went over setting up Git on our local machine. We created a new project and started using Git to version control our project here on our desktop. And so this tutorial is on how to set up a GitHub account. How to start pushing and pulling from that account and sharing our code with the world. So the first thing we need to do is set up a GitHub account. So let's just pick a username. This is a test, so we're going to go, this is a test GitHub account. And then I'm going to use an email that I don't use that much at all. Create a password and sign up. All right, welcome to GitHub. So here goes through some steps. Automatically selects the free account, which is $0 a month. Now GitHub, if you want to do private repositories where your code's only viewable by you and or developers you've added as contributors to the project, it's $7 a month. You can also set up a Bitbucket, which we're not going to go over in this tutorial, but the process is pretty much the same, where they, on their pricing plans, you get free up to 5 users and you can have free repositories. So Bitbucket, if you're going to be doing a lot of free repository, or I'm sorry, non-public repositories, you are going to want to set up a Bitbucket account. But if you want to start setting up GitHub and start showing the world your code, we can just use this free account, or you can do the paid account. So anyways, without further ado, let's finish the sign up. And I'm not sure why I got an error. Let's go back, finish sign up. There we go. Okay, so let's get started. They'll take you through the steps on what's next, creating a repository, but that's actually what we're going to do in this tutorial. So let's go to our profile, and let's set up a repository. Let's create a new one. And we need to verify our email. So I have another window open up over here that's going to verify the email. Let me just check real quick. Give me 1 second. There we go. Verify email address. Verify. Okay. Alright, so now we're verified, so we refresh. Or go back. Click new again. Alright, awesome. Now we can create a new repository. So let's just name it the same as our project, just project. And so the optional description, so we'll go, this is just a test project. And we're going to make it public, and then it'll allow us to initialize it if we're starting a brand new repository, but we already have one, so we're not going to do this. We're just going to create it. And what's awesome is Git shows you here, it gives you the commands you need to initialize this project, which we've already done, but it shows us how to add a remote to this repository. And you can do it one of 2 ways: HTTPS, which is just doing this command, or SSH. Good thing about doing an SSH, you don't have to keep typing in your username and password every time you go to make a commit or change. So we're going to do the SSH key, which means we need to set up a SSH key with GitHub, which is a little bit of a pain, but once it's done, and it's good to know how to do it. So let's go to our project, or actually our keys, our main settings for our account under settings, and go over to SSH keys. Now, there are no SSH keys with access to your account, so we can generate one. So let's click generate. And this tells you how to check for an existing SSH key and generating a new one. Let's just go through these real quick. It tells you how to check for an existing. So it says open terminal and enter ls-al tilde /.ssh. All right, no such file or directory, so we don't have one. So let's go back and generate a new one. And then this is going to tell you how to do this in terminal. So we're going to run this first command to generate an SSH key. So SSH keygen, and then put our email in here. All right, so now terminal is generating the key. Enter a file in which to save the key. If you just hit enter, it'll put it in the default root directory, which is good. It's created the directory. Now we're going to enter a passphrase. So let's enter a passphrase that we're going to remember. And then enter the same passphrase again. All right, so now we have a key fingerprint, and the next step here says when you're prompted to enter a file in which to save, just press enter. We've done that. We've added our secure passphrase, and the key fingerprint's been generated. And then the last step, add the SSH key fingerprint you generated to the SS agent. So let's do that, adding a new SSH key to the SS agent. And this is the code we're going to use to do that. So let's just copy this and paste this in terminal. And we have now an ID, and then we're going to add it, the SSH key to the agent. All right, and it wants our passphrase again. All right, so the identity's been added. Let's go back, and the next step is adding a new SSH key to your GitHub account, and they're going to tell you how to do that. We've already checked all of this. Copy the SSH key to your clipboard. So let's run this command to get a copy of our SSH key. Okay, so now our SSH key has been copied to our clipboard, and then it tells you how to go in and add this in GitHub. So we're going to go to our profile and go to settings and go to SSH key, and then new SSH key, and let's give it a title we're just going to name this temporary SSH key, and then we can just paste this here and click add SSH key. So now we have an SSH key connected to GitHub and our local computer. So the next step we're going to want to do is go back to our repository and our project repository, and here is how we set this up. So now our URL is going to be the SSH version, so we're going to go git remote add origin GitHub, and now we can add this repository. So let's go back over to our terminal window, and let's add this. We're going to change the directory to our project and hit enter, and then let's make sure we're in the right directory. Yes, we are. Okay, so let's copy and paste that command, git remote add origin, and now our origin's been added. And if we want to check to make sure that we have the right origin set, I'm just looking up the commands here. Git remote -v. So this is showing our origin is set to Git at GitHub. This is a test GitHub account, and here's our project. So this gives us our origin to push and pull to. So if we go back to GitHub real quick, we'll see our project is empty. There's nothing here for us to go to. So we're going to go to repository, click on project. Okay, so it's still the same thing. So let's go here, and this is how we push our code. So we're going to go git push origin master. So this is just saying we're going to push our code to the origin, which we've just set, and we're pushing the master branch. And the authenticity of GitHub cannot be established. RSA key fingerprint. Are you sure you want to continue connecting? Yes. Okay, so GitHub has been added to the list of known hosts. And we have pushed our project to GitHub. So now when we go back to our project, we have our index.html file. Also, we have all of our commits that have been tracked. So our first, second, third, and on this one I couldn't remember if it was a fourth or fifth commit. Nice thing, once you click on that, it'll show the differences. So it'll show what's been deleted and what's been added to each commit. And we have officially set up our first project on GitHub. We have set up an SSH key. And now if you want to get your code, let's go back to terminal. And you want to say another developer is working on the project and pushing to GitHub, we can go git pull, which does a fetch and merge, and go git pull origin master, and it's saying already up to date. So we have that is how you pull down from GitHub. So that wraps up this tutorial. So now we know how to set up a new GitHub account, how to set up a repository, how to set up your SSH key, and how to push and pull from that repository here on GitHub, so the world can now go to your profile and you can show off your work. You can also, let me show you one other thing here. You can go under settings for this project and add collaborators. It says it doesn't have any yet, so you can search by username, full name, or email address of friends or colleagues that you are developing with. You can add them as a collaborator to this project, and then they'll be able to contribute to your project, and you can start coding socially. So that wraps up this tutorial. Thanks for watching. Hope you learned some stuff. I went a little bit fast, but during the process, GitHub has done a great job of giving you all the commands you're going to need to generate your SSH key. So that wraps up this tutorial, and again, thanks for watching.